And yes, it's just as awesome as you thought it was. I'm actually going to lighten things up tonight, and basically, I'm going to talk about Avatar because it was freaking awesome. Honestly, just freaking awesome. I was trying to tell somebody else that it totally shifted the paradigm on movie making. So from now on, everybody's going to try and do what he did on that, which is pretty freaking impressive. It really is. So anyway, um, if you were paying attention to my last broadcast, I talked quite a bit about fascism in America. I got some interesting responses from it. Some people are really, really passionate about the whole thing. Others, not so much so, but that's okay too. Um, what I wanted to say, just to clarify my own position for you folks out there, is I am not so much worried about the problem as I am about the solution. Okay, I think the problem is bad. Okay, we have a bad problem with it. However, I think there are better solutions. I think pulling back our troops from overseas and having them patrol our fucking borders while we build a wall is a good idea. Okay, I don't think giving uh, the police to stop people on suspicion of anything is a good idea. That totally goes against the Constitution, which guarantees the Fifth Amendment rights. Of due process. It totally kills that. Um, and who knows? And I'm perfectly certain that there are eventually going to be abuses of it. I'm absolutely certain of it. Just because of human nature. You know, um, it's going to get ugly before it gets, really ugly. Um, so I wanted to clarify that because I think a lot of people are getting pretty riled up, and there's no cause for that. This is a discussion. Granted, I let my emotions run high, but I also never wish anybody harm. I never tell anybody they should be that the others should be killed or anything of that nature. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me, and that's what makes up the world, and that's how the world gets round. But if you want to argue, I'm all for it. Just it ain't personal. This is my opinion, mostly, mostly just my opinion. Okay. Other people agree with my opinion. Some others don't. But it's just an opinion. I'm not claiming I have the answers. I'm not claiming that anybody that doesn't agree with me is wrong. I mean, in my view, they might be wrong, but they're not necessarily wrong. I have been well. If I was, I think I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. So, for those of you that got that, thank you. Um, it's not for me. It's not about being right or wrong, and I reserve the right to alter my opinion at any time, given new information. That's just the way I am. I will not ignore the facts when they're presented to me. However, I may ignore angry rhetoric because to me, there's no justification for that. If you want to not take it personally, if you don't want to do it, uh, at a personal level, um, I'm all for it. If, however, you do want to make it personal, I can really make it personal. And I don't want to do that because that's the way you make enemies. And I'm not looking to make enemies. I'm actually looking to make friends. Uh, Friends that may disagree with me on certain topics. We may agree on other topics. Like like I said, I want to talk about Avatar, the film. I got it on Blu-ray disc, and I have a Blu-ray player, and I have my LCD widescreen. Um, uh, they were everything I got was on sale, so it's not like I spent a lot of money. But I got it. I got it. It was my own. It was my gift to me for living through the heart transplant. Because I've been fighting the technology beast for long enough. I didn't get a cell phone until a couple of years ago, when it was basically required of me. because I really don't like the things. I don't like being that accessible. I feel if you want to get in touch with me, you should need to work at it. But okay, I still don't text. I absolutely refuse to text for two reasons. Number one, it gets kind of expensive, and you guys know how chatty I can be. And two is I think it's helping dumb down America because you use chat speak instead of English. Now I know chat speak is it's just a thing, but um, certain words aren't being used anymore because they don't fit in with chat speak. And I think I consider language to be a very precise tool. Okay, to me, it's a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. So you don't really need to fuck with it that much. Okay. Now I curse a lot. I do that. I use that as an emphatic. Um, I don't really call anyone bad names unless they deserve it. Like a friend of mine, Leonard Sigel, who is very funny, but it has a very kind of I don't mind the physical stuff, like thinking farts are funny and that kind of stuff. But I do mind the third grade kind of. Well, doesn't he know? And you know, that's Leonard. Leonard does that. And Leonard, I apologize if I'm offending you, but bring it up a notch, dude. If you're gonna make a comment on on something I'm doing, uh, and you're gonna try and be funny, then at least be clever. Okay. I know you got it in you, dude. I've seen it. So be clever. Uh, what else? Oh, I just want to give some quick shout outs. Paul Williamson. I have not shouted out to anybody in quite a while, so I am giving a shout out to Paul Williamson. He is on Facebook. This is everybody I know that's on Facebook. I want to thank my guests that were here this evening and watching Avatar. Um, just because it made it a real pleasant atmosphere. They are um, the Seagulls, not Leonard and Cindy, but actually Leonard's dad and his stepmom Louise. So that was fun having them. And then I also had one of their grandkids here, Sydney Herbal, very lovely young woman, very fun, very nice, very smart, and her date, Britt, was here as well. Okay, so I did that. Shouted out Paul Williamson. I shouted out Leonard Sigel and Cindy Sigel. Um, I want to shout out to Cole Armacida, who I haven't shouted out in a while, and so I'm shouting out Cole. Cole, baby, how you doing? I'm gonna shout out a bunch of other people's, uh, but I'm gonna finish up this with the shout outs, and then I'm going to go into my second segment, which is all about the movie Avatar and Blu-ray and what a phenomenal thing this was, and how it shifted the paradigm of movie making. But let me finish my shout outs. Tim Grundy, want to shout out Tim Grundy. Tim Stokes, welcome back, Tim Stokes. I know for a while there you were kind of avoiding posting to my shit because you did get very upset one day, and this is before he knew the rules. He made it a little personal, and and so we jumped on him for being personal rather than for what he actually said. And but Tim's a very smart guy, and he's back now. So welcome back, Tim Stokes. Um, who else? Kelly Swisher. I've been having conversations with Kelly. She works late. Late. She's a nurse. She's an at-home. She's a caregiver, and I've been talking to her when she's up late at night, and I'm up late at night. And she just got engaged. She's got a house that she's refurbing and renovating, and so good luck to her. And I'm going to pick up on the next segment where I just want to talk about Avatar. All right? And movie making and storytelling and what is so fantastic about it. So I'll be back in a couple minutes.